There we go. So, namaste. Looks like we're live now. Hello, Akasha here, Nan Akasha, and I'm super happy to be here. I'm super happy to be here for the Spiritual Weather Report. I do this usually once a week to tune into the energies that are happening. So we're talking astrology, but we're also talking the expanded energy of the universe. We're talking about earth energies. We're talking about our body's energies. We're talking about our light body, our meridians, all of the channels of light information that come in and out, energy from our bodies and our chakras and every aspect of our bodies into our mental field, into our emotional field, and so on. These affect our life, our reality, our moment-to-moment experience. So what I find is I say to my friends, I'm an energy girl. And what I mean by that is that since I had the big breakdown, first big breakdown of my life, big breakdown, then I started looking for something new, something that I hadn't had before. It led me to spirituality, meditation, to animal communication, to energy work, Tellington Touch. I became a homeopathic doctor, a hypnotherapist, and I kept going deeper. And then I started to find shaman, and I started to go to mystery schools. I started to learn sacred geometry and go to places and speak to the temples and talk to the stones and work with crystals and flower essences. And what happens is that you realize everything's alive, everything is conscious, everything's made from the same energy, and you're all here together on a journey, our little evolutionary journey. And we are divine. We are the divine field that we have chosen, and we have created a plan, and we've created a template to come down into form. And that descending into form is very powerful because it's an alchemical process, and we may not remember it, but we are it. We are the memory of it. So our body is made of Gaia, right? Our body is made of dirt and leaves and trees and berries and water and, cats and everything else, because everything that has a form on this planet has a light body structure, has an energy current structure. And not only is it in its own reality, it's in its own orbit, right? So your liver is doing its thing. And I do vibrational and frequency healing. It's one of the things I learned many, many years ago, is radionics and now Rife. I have my Rife machines, 9 of them going in the other room. I work with energy medicine. I may be doing it with the different processes or different structures or things that I've created in my light body school. And I'm also using other modalities. So as these modalities come into your life, as you find different things, really listen to your heart. What's calling you forward? Because these are steps on your journey that know exactly what you most require to go to the next place in your life, that your soul's mission, your true purpose can begin to take hold at a bigger way. We are losing our old identities, our desires, our perceptions of what we want, our understanding of who we are or our family. People are looking back now during this grand awakening and saying, wow, I wasted my life, or why did I do that? Or why did I tolerate those relationships? Or I don't want to do that anymore. How do I do something new? I don't even know who I am, or I don't even know which way to go or how to be, because we were conditioned and trained to be in a certain way. So depending on your culture, your family, and so on. So none of it is to be blamed. All of it is just you're becoming aware of it. And now you can work with more energies consciously and walk in the awareness that there's all these other versions of you, all these other past lives, all these potential future lives. These are terms we give it that aren't really accurate when you get into the mysticism and the sacred geometry and the understanding of the energetics and even the science now of the structure. It's extremely complex. However, all you need to do is make it simple. And you need to go, okay, I am this contained sphere. I am this reality. I am this earth. I am this planet. And I am creating the planet. I am creating my reality, the atmosphere on it, the people in it, the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about money, the way I feel about everything. So it's an amazing experience, because as we move through this, as we give ourselves the permission to have a breakdown and to not be what we thought we were going to be, as we give ourselves permission to break agreements or obligations to other people. There's a lot of inappropriate relationships that you may be in. We all go through this awakening. Oh, I'm giving too much. I feel guilty or obligated to certain people. I feel like I can't change my mind. This is very common, and it just came up again recently, but I've seen this with clients for decades, is if you feel energetically or emotionally or somehow in your own personal self, your personal self, you feel like you're tired, you're exhausted, you need time to meditate, you need time to just be, you need time to journal, to talk to your crystals, to talk to your angels, whatever it is you do to give yourself time, because you're doing that, right? Yes, Akasha, I am. You're doing that, right? Yes. Bare minimum 30 minutes a day for you. If you can't scrape that out, then everything else you're doing in your life, and I do not mean to belittle anybody, but I can promise you, I've been through all the ups and downs of my version of life. Of course, I have not been in your story. And everybody has ups and downs. We do it. That's the whole purpose. We're here to do this. It's a sacred serpent ride, but you have to do that and experience it and realize you can stay in the high and the low consciously as an energetic master. And then you start to live your purpose, and then you start to hear your own frequency. And it's much more interesting to be in your world, your own authority, not worried about what everybody else thinks. And the first step comes not validating yourself to anyone else or what you do. We're in Taurus energy right now. We are in the energy of the new moon of last week. It's waning as we're getting closer to the 2-week period. But remember, the new moon energy determines, kind of like a birth date, all the energies, the weather, the spirit that you're walking through now over these 2 weeks. So why is that relevant? Well, Taurus is an earth sign, and it's all about pleasure, comfort, wealth, possessions, monies, homes, but not in a greedy way, because everything has harm or heal, right? What is optimal for you? Is it hot or cold, or something in the middle, or somewhere, anywhere in between? So every single thing's that way. Remember, there's nothing good, nothing bad. They're two sides of the same thing. Always, we're all made of the same thing. So your body is made up of Gaia. That means that if Gaia has an earthquake or a tornado or a volcano, there's something going on in you too. You might be more related to it because you live there. You might live in a certain area that has a certain history. I live here in the Maya land, I call it. I'm on the Yucatan Peninsula, and I'm literally 10 minutes from one temple, one site, ancient site. So I'm living on the land that they lived on. Now, there's people lived here before that and after that, and many other energies you could tune into where you live right now. There's ancestors and other people who've lived there that had wonderful energies and energies perhaps you don't want to tune into. So how do you, as an awakening intuitive, how do you get to the point where you are aware of the energy around you and what it's saying to you? Because it's like signs on a road. Next exit, last exit for 10 miles, last gas station for 50 miles, coming up soon. If you want to go to this place, get off here, or your GPS, however you want to perceive it. Your life is the same. Our life is the same. We are guided in every moment. We come here on a fully funded mission, and we are here to embody the body the way a cat does. Love it, taste it, enjoy it, give yourself pleasure. You don't have to overindulge consistently and create bad health and toxic relationships and stuff in order to indulge yourself. The problem is we've all been taught to feel guilty for wanting what we want, or we've all been taught to be guilty and feel shame or afraid to ask for what we want or to receive what we want, or God forbid, enjoy what we get. Who do you think you are to be happy when the rest of us are miserable? Literally something my partner Chris and I have heard before in our own lives. And so here's the thing. If you get real happy, people get pissed off because it doesn't feel real to them. It doesn't feel possible. And then it triggers people to tune in where they are and to feel stuck. And when you're in a low state of consciousness, you've got to go to my shop, okay? And you've got to get the scale if you don't have it yet. It's the scale of consciousness. We took the one by David Hawkins, pure credit to him. You can go on the internet and get 1 million versions of it out there right now. Just make sure, you have permission. You have full permission to use mine, and mine has been changed and altered, and it shows you, it's a biofeedback machine. It's an energy reading machine in a little tiny scale, and it will blow your mind the depth to which you can understand where you are energetically as a state, where you want to be, and why you're experiencing the disease, the emotions, the feelings, the relationships, the blocks, the resistance, the procrastination, or the desire, the energy, the inspiration, right? It works both ways. However, what happens to most people because of where we've been, and we're coming out of it real fast. So it's real important that you learn your light body. You realize that you are energy, you are thought, you are infinite, you are the divine. Okay, you are made of intelligent things, but there's a bunch of blocks in there. There's blocks in your chakras. So your Kundalini awakening that's happening right now, which is that sacred serpent energy that's coded right there in your body. In your physical body, you have your soul blueprint, and it's holding this divine masculine and this divine feminine together, and it's flowing up through your chakras, but it's not even. All right. You've either suppressed one side more than the other, or maybe in your solar plexus, you have a block to your power. So you don't let the masculine get by very well, or you have fears in your sacral of being worthy or sexually abused. So you're blocking some of the energies pouring through there. So understand there's nothing wrong with you. We've all are coming out of the war. Okay. We're all coming out of the dark ages and the middle ages and the fall and anything else you want to call it amnesia time, right? Excuse me. And what we want to do is understand you're an energetic being in flow. You're in constant motion. You never stop vibrating. You're already creating your reality. You don't need to become a creator. You need to remember who you are. You need to stop and listen to yourself. It's time to come in and be you. It's to own your own authority. How do you do that? I don't know. If goddesses call you, go be a goddess woman, dress like a goddess, feel this, bring it into your life, give up what other people think of you, desensitize yourself to your story, which is the fears, the pains, and these are very real. I'm not saying like, just don't worry about it. I'm literally saying like getting used to poison, you cleanse and clear it and you realign to your truth. And you do that energetically, emotionally, with flower essences, with meditation, with yoga, with looking, with talking to plants, with learning the things that I teach you in my school, all of these different things, whatever calls to you. Keep moving on your path, learning how to communicate better with energy. Energy, you have senses and receptors. Every time we go through a particular sign like Taurus, you're feeling the energies of Taurus. So you don't have to become an astrologer. But if you understand that earth energies are very grounded and they move very slow, and it makes you want to sit and just be, and it makes you want to be in your comfort zone. And yet, you really want that pleasure. You like the nice things, the things that align with you. So what I want you to do is, because we're still in that energy this week, okay? So we're in the energy being offered opportunities because of the dragon year. So all these energies weave together, and they weave together. So you have an overriding energy like it's the year of the dragon, the green wood yang dragon. That's masculine energy that's building for you. And that's green wood, which is building and new. So your new creative projects, ideas, ways of thinking about yourself, ways of thinking about your job, ways of thinking about your body, ways of stepping back and doing your life differently, doing your business differently, doing your whatever differently. All right. This is being required because of Jupiter and Uranus. Jupiter expands everything. It's the planet of good fortune. However, we know that if you expand pain or fear, you get panic attacks and diseases, right? So, or war. So we're all rising. And it's a little bit of a hot mess. Unplug from everyone else's stories. You do not need to know. You do not need to know. All right. There's a part of you that was taught that you need to know what these people are doing or what those people are saying or what's on the news or what happened over here. You know what you need to know? What's going on in here? This is what you're in charge of. This is what I'm in charge of. And we were told to be worried about what's out there. What do you think I should do? Please tell me what to do. This authority, that authority, schools and families and religion and governments and on and on and on. Everybody's got rules more than ever before. And this is the awakening of the individual spiritual self. That's what we're going through. The breakdown of who we thought we were is to show you, you create your reality. So get on it now. Get conscious of it. Go towards what your heart is calling you towards. If you want to learn something in particular, find a way to do it. There's a bazillion YouTube videos out there, okay? We've got free stuff. There's so much available now. Information is not at a loss. It's just, is it disinformation? Is it the information that's best for you, optimal for your highest good at this time? This is what you want to ask. And then you keep moving towards what your inner calling is. What is it going to do? It's going to take you through your fears. It's going to take you through your habits. It's going to make you show, I waste all my time on everyone else. I put myself last, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't get that done. I didn't get that done. Oh, I didn't do my meditation. Oh, and then you're depleted and you're still trying to give. You do not give from yourself. You give from overflow. So the divine feminine awakening that we've been having, which is really the balancing of the sacred masculine and feminine that we're required to do right now in order to become the conscious creators of our reality, is being supported by Jupiter, ready to expand whatever you have and bring good fortune to it. So stay aware. What do you want in that department? Uranus is going to say, innovate, awaken, change, surprise, unexpected, all of these kinds of energies. Okay, that's what Uranus brings. And because it's a Jupiter and Uranus are the ones doing the dance right now, boo, 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 that's the main thing that's being expanded. But you don't know where it's going to. You might know, but each of us is going to have that change, that call to something new, something opening up for you, an opportunity, a door. I call it a door. If you're familiar with Joseph Campbell, he wrote The Hero's Journey, and he discovered, he'd studied all of the myths and all the archetypes and all these different traditions and cultures and religions around the world. And their creation stories, right? And he discovered that at the core, we're all the same. We're all telling the same story, and we're on a hero's journey. And it has noticeable, easily recognizable segments to it. So there is, and I keep wanting to send it out. Hopefully I'll remember. If you want to remind me, there's probably a lot of videos, but there's a beautiful little 5-minute TEDx education or something video about the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is a story. Every story, Harry Potter and, Gone with the Wind, and like every single story that's epic, that's big, that's classic, that's well known, every movie is the hero's journey. It shows you. And then you look at the Greek archetypes and the heroes, and how they were constantly challenged with new, almost seemingly impossible tasks. Go recover the head of this monster. Everybody dies, nobody can get near it. What are you going to do? If you translate that energetically into your current situation, into your life, you're on a hero's journey. Hero, heroine. Okay? And you're going to go through the cycles. The cycle is you're sitting in your ordinary world, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a call. Maybe you're bored. Maybe someone dies. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe whatever. Maybe you decide to come to Avalon with me. Come to Avalon with me. Oh my gosh. I spent the morning with a lady that I'm bringing in who's a dowser and an energy and a druid and a historian and an expert and of the ley lines and the ancients, and discovered the long skull people in this part of the UK, and just we're becoming friends. We're planning to do all kinds of amazing retreats coming together. We speak the same language, but we speak energy language. So she's a dowser and an energy ley line expert and all of that. And I'm an expert from the energetics of, a pendulum and intuitive and all these other aspects and light body work. And we both do sacred geometry work. And so we have these places we cross, and we have these places where we complement. And it's like weaving a new blanket, a new tapestry. And I think that's what we're doing, where all of the lines are coming in now. You're waking up to your past authorities, your past powers, your past selves, the past parts of you that lived in times when you knew a power. You were a priestess at Avalon, in Avalon with the goddesses, or you were, of Athena in Delphi with me, or in Egypt, or in Peru, or in Maya, or the Native Americans. Maybe you were a medicine woman. Maybe you were a shaman. Maybe you were a star reader, in one of the ancient cultures like the Maya and many others who watched the stars and predicted and created incredible calendars. And there's a reason to go to the ancients, because we're discovering who we were, and we're discovering that we were wiser, and then we became less aware, and now we're coming back into awareness. So the idea that we were taught that everything in the past, they were stupid and we've evolved and we evolve and we're smarter than everyone in the past is not true. And we've become extremely off center from our truth. So that's why the only truth that we have a compass to is to come back to our own inner center. Taurus is saying, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to get used to asking for what you want, to having what you want. Get rid of the excess, get rid of the greed, get rid of the craving, whatever you can do to start to give yourself some nurturing, some time, some love, some meditation, something, okay, that isn't consuming food or Facebook or TV or shopping or some other thing. Because I lived that way. I never felt like I had such unfulfilled desires, and I carried them with me. And this is what I've seen in my clients, I've seen in everybody, that there's a craving state of desire that you get stuck at, and it's disappointment and desire and disappointment and desire. And at first you're willing to go, I'm going to go make this happen. And then it works for a while, or it fails, or it doesn't work the way you wanted, or somebody says something mean to you or whatever. And you go through life like this. But our mind was taught that we have to go like this and stay at the top of the hill and be the hero and never have a failure. That's not truth. So we're set up for failure from the beginning. And this is the time to say to Taurus, yeah, hug me, hold me. This is another aspect of Earth Mother. My body needs nurturing. It needs nurturing. And, it might be your daily cappuccino. This is my whatever you want to call it. However, it's really about treating that inner self with respect and value, caring for it, pampering it, showing that you care, spending time with it. If you've ever had a child, you know the difference between spending time with a child or sticking a TV in front of her and doing something else. They're very aware when you're not with them, or if you're sitting there or on your phone. I didn't have that when my kids were little, or if you're sitting there and you're distracted with something, they know when you're present. They're already sensing energies. So energies are earth, air, ley lines, of course, and then are also called dragon lines in England. So we're going to be playing with dragons as well, and earth energies, earth currents, vortexes, power spots, points of light. So when the ancients went around and built temples and stone circles, it's like earth acupuncture. They built them over very specific spots. The Great Pyramid in Egypt is built over a certain kind of soil, layers of it, that when it rains, it goes down, it filters from this type of soil to this type of soil, and it starts to make a noise. I imagine almost like a rain stick, like and that creates a frequency. Okay. And then there's a vibration, and then that vibration and frequency creates light, and that energy interacts with the waters and other things underneath it. And now it's like turning on a power plant, and the pyramid above it is perfectly designed to bring that energy up. If you've ever been in the pyramids, this is not designed like a palace. It's not even designed like a tomb. Maybe it was used for that. I don't think so. However, none of these places were tombs. And their energy and power generators. They're harnessing earth energies. The earth makes the water. So Taurus is here, and it's both accepting comfort, giving yourself comfort, and getting out of your comfort zone. I told you everything has two sides. So Uranus wants you out of your comfort zone, and Jupiter wants to expand that, get out of your comfort zone. And believe me, I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, and if anybody's interested, and a Leo rising and a Libra moon. So that Sagittarius, oh, it's so funny. That fire sign, okay, is a leading element for me. And when I'm in Taurus, it's earth. And so fire and earth are not complementary elements. All right. Fire and air are, right? Air feeds fire, fire gets bigger. And earth and water, because of course they make mud. And fire can come into earth water and become lava. All right. So they can change their state, and so can you. You can take the energies we're walking through right now and begin to think about them, consciously read them, feel them. What would it feel like if I just trusted that Earth Mother was here, that what I needed is here? The more you come in the present moment, let go of all this is going on out here, you can start to hear your inner voice. Now, we say your inner voice, don't expect it. It might, but don't wait around for a voice like mine to say, hello, Susan, how are you today? This is your higher self. I am going to give you a rundown of what is happening right now. This is not the way intuitive communication works. It works multidimensionally. It's like dolphins. Their sounds have just packed with information, and we can barely decode some of it. And some of it is actually seeing the shapes, and it's all in that frequency, in that vibration. So as this body with an energy structure that senses information, you have energies coming in and out of your chakras. You have a pillar of light pouring through you. You have all these different aspects going on nonstop. You have a tube torus around your entire body, which is a vortex bringing energy down through the center of your body. Infinite energy spiraling, all these strands of different, you could imagine them as different colors, into one vortex going right through the center of you. You wouldn't be alive if you didn't have it. You're not special. However, how much are you receiving it? How much are you aware of it? How much are you accepting it? How many programs do you have in your body and your mind that are habit that you don't even know about, your invisible beliefs and mindsets that are preventing you from taking the energies pouring through you that would be the exact thing you need right now? You have to develop receiving, and Taurus is very good at that. So I would recommend that you take the Jupiter expanding into receiving. Expand your receiving. And if that's different for you, good. So think about what's different, what's changed, and don't be surprised if a surprise change happens. Now, remember, surprise changes can be super, super fun, and they can be a little shocking and a little bit, maybe not the most fun thing in your life. So my brother-in-law passed recently. It was not a shock. However, we didn't know when. And so the timing was a little bit of a surprise. So, that's something sudden, and it's aligned with the optimal. It's aligned with what was optimal for him. And I trust that implicitly. I've spent 38 years on this path consciously, and I've connected with so many of my other lives. I communicate with so many other realms because I was constantly drawn through one drama, one breakdown, one loss of a daughter, of money, of a marriage, of everything I owned, and on and on and on. Up and down, huge successes, huge whatever failures, believed all the bad stuff I could possibly believe about myself all along the way. And all of those were opportunities for me to find a solution, because I didn't want to feel the pain anymore. I didn't want to think I was a piece of shit anymore. I didn't want to struggle with money anymore. I never have done a job I didn't love. I couldn't do it. I started out as a fashion designer, and then I went into healing and real estate investing, and then I've been doing my magic work and my light body work and my channeling and healing, and it just keeps becoming more of who I am, and that's who you're here to be. You're here to become who you are. So part of the other energies, let's take a look at. I don't think we have a lot of information on the slides, but we do have some new shows coming up, so I'm going to share that with you real quick. And the main thing right now is we're going to meet next week for the full moon. Yay! And it's a very beautiful full moon. I believe it's called the flower full moon, which is just so pretty. However, I like the full moon for obvious reasons. And between now and then, you can be realizing that transition you're going through from the dark moon, where you plant the seeds. What does that mean? You go into the womb and you get in the darkness and you sit in the yin and you receive and you're recharged. And then you allow yourself to birth from you what you would love, but not from pain, not from I'm never enough, but from that place of like, Thank you. You let Gaia, you let your mother, you let this Taurus energy, you let the expansion of a change. If you don't have self-love, that's your change. If you could expand your self-love, acceptance, your self-worth, your self-image, your self-role, everything to do with that could be one of the most powerful things you do right now. So I called this the freedom and change and nourishment because of that Taurus energy and the expansion of something new. The new is the Uranus energy. It's freedom. The change is the Uranus energy. It's change. It's inevitable. So instead of waiting and holding back and being afraid, surrender to your higher good and trust that part of you that if you could let go of worrying and planning and controlling and wanting to know and wondering how and blaming anyone, including yourself, these are the hooks. And when you get to become an energy girl too, when you start to, you don't have to become a healer and you don't have to see anything. You just have to say, I'm ready and willing. And I'm open and receptive to align with what is optimal for me in this moment and my highest good. And then you begin to shift what you see, what you perceive, everything that's happening, even if it's a block, it may dissolve, it may just soften, it may open for a moment. And when Joseph Campbell studied all of these heroes' journeys, what he came back to was, this is a show we're doing on Thursday. So we're going to be sharing more about the Avalon retreat, and Merlin wants to speak more. So we're going to talk alchemy and magic. And I just had an amazing conversation. So I'm going to go back for a minute because I don't want to interrupt that. I thought there was something else there. So this energy we have right now needs to nourish you because Taurus is about comfort. So you're going to need to go against the earth energy that doesn't want to move. And an earth change is an earthquake. So you may experience it as a huge disruption in your life, right? You may move intentionally or not. You know, maybe you're building floods and you have to go somewhere else. You may have, just that sense of being unsteady, or your relationships or your job or your way of thinking may just suddenly feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I don't know which way's up. And that's okay. You need to get used to that because we're going to be going through constantly re-energizing and recalibrating and rebalancing our frequency within our light body field. Our light body field is our universe. So this sphere you see in the background here is the flower of life. And it is what I call the Akashic Ascension Sphere. It is a hologram of love. It represents our light body in totality through the feminine senses. And when you see or feel it around you, the way that I teach it and also can show you right here, is that the flower of life is a sacred geometrical shape that contains every single sacred geometry shape within it, and therefore every structure required to form reality. So when you start to realize there's a structure to light, intelligence, and energy, when I hold an intention or a fear or an energy, it is not only infusing me, it's going into my field, it's infecting my mind, and it's going into the Akasha, which is then there for everyone to read and tap into. I like to think that I am putting into the Akasha, I am putting into the world energy, my contribution to the energy during this evolution that we're all walking through individually and yet together. And this is the paradigm we have to get used to, is I want to be putting back the most positive, uplifting energies. And so when you realize it's my responsibility to keep my space clear, and the more that you understand that, you nourish yourself through the energies, through the activations and the other things. You nourish yourself with certain crystals around here, maybe certain incenses. Before, as most of you know, I do copal. I've been really into Palo Santo lately. I always have usually some white sage and other bundles that we make. And these are important guides and friends and allies to me. I've worked with earth energies for so long in different aspects, with shaman in the Lakota Sioux, with the Mayan, with other Native American tribes, the Egyptians, mystery schools, the ancient ones, and the understanding of the structure of the light underneath. This is mental, emotional, spiritual healing, and there's other realms you have to be able to access to understand the full energy of the mystery, the magic, the power. When you open your inner eye, we talk about open your third eye, awaken your kundalini, become aware, connect more. Yes, I'm in full agreement. Let's all do that. However, if you force it, if you're not following your path of optimal, if you're doing things randomly, I have a friend, a dear friend. He's an amazing, amazing spiritual being who's here to do very big work. And he's done some amazing things that I would love to have done. And yet he is of a personality that pushes it, and he's damaged his body very severely several times in the pursuit of wanting that higher experience, expand that, that astral travel experience or that visionary experience. And believe me, it's all here for you. And that's what my intuitive school, my divination school is. Let's connect back to the goddess energies. That's the divine feminine, but that's the primordial creator. So let's really find the nourishment in earth energies. Bring in these rustic smells and senses. Bring in some crystals, stones, rocks. These, even if you're into sacred geometry, these kind of shapes, and this is copper. So it's again another part of Gaia. And then I've added this Celtic symbol. So the symbol is bringing in certain energies. These spirals are, of course, bringing in energies, 3 together. There's a reason the Celts and all of the symbols and of sacred symbols through time, and Hindus and all the ones, they all create vortexes of energy. They create and draw in energy if you're holding it, if you're near it, if it's around you. If you go to a ley line like in Avalon, or if you go to a temple or a sacred hill or a grove or a cave, there's very certain energies. Everyone's different. Certain waters are different. And so when you want to wake up, the best thing to do is to be quiet and spend at least 30 minutes with yourself. So nourish yourself. How else can you nourish yourself this week? All right. Please think of that. And I would love it if you would really just take a step back from food. Okay. Food is a big drama. And as many of you know, if you've been around for a while, I was an athlete when I was younger, and I put on a lot of weight for a good portion of my life, and it's been coming off over the years. And in the last 4 years since Chris's seizure, we began to eat what I call our shaman diet. And it was for the inner. It was to heal certain flows of energy and certain alchemical and hormonal reactions within the body. And the intention wasn't to lose weight, but my body began to go through an alchemy. And one of those alchemies was to release the toxins of emotions that I was holding on, that were keeping a false illusion of myself, not good enough, and all of that, bringing the painful experiences with you, if you will. That's weight. That shows burden, inflammation, infection, congestion. These have all been a very common thing for me. I still have some of it. I've learned a lot of my healing through the years to help me with those. And I go very deep healing for everyone in my family. And I help my clients find all kinds of different natural healing methods to complement perhaps something that you want to or need to use in Western medicine or other forms of energy. Just remember, a pill is a vibrational medicine as well. And we know that the nourishing we need is partially acknowledging that you are choosing it and you are receiving it and you are grateful for it. That's an exchange of energy. And when you feel desperate, when you feel craving, when you feel like you tried and failed, or you lost things, or somebody, betrayed you, and believe me, I've been there, and everybody has. If you weren't in this life, you were in some other life. If you want to use your voice authentically, but you can't, most people go through some version of that, or you're waking up to a new version of you. That's something happening to me and a lot of my colleagues and friends and clients who've been doing this work consciously for a long time. We're shed, and now something new is emerging. And it's not that we are different, yet we are. And we have to see ourselves different and acknowledge that we're different. And I'm using this time to nurture with Gaia, to attune to the crystals of the earth and the energies and the aspects, right, of the earth. And of course, my jaguar, very connected to that. And the prosperity, of course, right now is great with the green rocks, gold rocks, and malachite. I've got my little prosperity frogs here. I've got some euros here to help us with our manifesting. I've got citrine, which never, ever lowers its frequency. So I like to work whatever you want to call it, alchemy, magic, healing, transformation, awareness, awakening, releasing. So when you use the sacred shape, okay, and the copper and the orgonite and the different things, everything comes together. And here we now have the energy we were talking about, the pyramid. So you have at your fingertips literally millions of years of wisdom and your ability to tune into your own senses now at a higher level that allows you, that allows you to. Citrine never lowers its frequency for anybody. That means that no one around you would ever draw you down if you were at a higher frequency of harmony or acceptance or inspiration or something, and somebody negative came along. You would be aware of them. You could react to them, but they would have no effect on you. That's one of the benefits of having that as an ally. So you change. You have to do your own inner work, and yet you have allies all around you if you learn to hear your higher self or tune into your body or understand that it's speaking to you when it's having a pain or it's having something. In the middle of the night last night, I walked to the bathroom in the dark the way I do 80 million times, and I knocked the table over on my foot, and I got a huge welt right on right where my toes begin. I could feel the bruising happening. Well, I'm a homeopath, so I immediately walked 2 feet and put arnica gel on it, found some arnica pills, started taking it, walked over to my Rife machines, switched everything up, and went into sending myself different frequencies and different treatments towards bruising and hematoma. Then I immediately went into practices that I've learned through shamanic healing and other energy healing methods, and that I've developed is I immediately go back in time. And I go back up, and I start to pull the energies out. And I pull the energies out that the trauma, and I see in my mind not, oh no, what terrible thing may happen, because I don't want to go there. Do you understand? You're the creator of your reality. You're at a moment when something happens to you, and this is just a little example, but put anything you want in there, okay? If you suddenly, go off into, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to walk, and I have to go here, and it's gonna be really big, and I might have a doctor bill, and okay, I don't want any of that. All right, so I never go there. I've trained and learned and practiced and done well and failed for a long time, but it's never ever worth it to stop. And I know sometimes a lot of people, when you get to working with me, big things start to shed and change. And sometimes you go into depressions or funks where you're just like, oh, I just don't care. That's okay. I walk through it with you. And then you have your amazing breakthrough. And then you start to live a different life. So the energies of nourishment is what you're willing to receive. And the opportunity to take that, what happened there, because I just went, really? And say, okay. And I don't look at it and except to assess, do I need to do something different? And so the worst I saw was about that high, big black thing in a crescent moon shape across my toes. And then I just let that go. And I laid in bed and kept taking the arnica and accepted and acknowledged the frequencies, the energy coming from. So we're kind of unconscious about our healing. And one of the things about being more in the pleasure, Taurus wants you to be in the moment so that when you eat one bite of the delicious whatever you're having, if you have one sip of your delicious cappuccino, you're not just sipping while you're over here, whatever, and you're not enjoying it. If you take a moment and enjoy that sip, now you've received the satisfaction. You've consciously been there instead of, oh no, I need another one or I need more. That's the sense of needing more. It's never enough. Being in the present moment means you don't have to. So these are the lessons that we have an opportunity to expand, doing that new. So when I go into more deep healing with going back through timelines, pulling the energy out, literally weaving it out through light weaving, which I teach, and all these different things. And just before the call, I looked at it. I don't see any visible swelling on the top. I can still feel it when I walk. I'm seeing a small bruise up on one toe, and there's very little dark coloring, and it was like that deep black purple. So I've done this with many things, very dramatic, smashed hands and all this kind of stuff. So there's an energy field that you are a part of. And whether you use divination, which is communication to spirit, through meditation, through synchronicities, through talking to flowers or trees or the wind, through Mother Mary or angels or Isis or Kuan Yin or Jaguar or spirit guides or eagles, whether you commune with the waters, the moon, the sun, whether you feel good in a certain spot, whatever level you're doing that, you are accepting the support of those energies. And since we're all earth energies, then we want to really acknowledge right now in this earthy time and allow the earth shakes to happen. Okay. So let's go. Here we go. Let's see. New moon energies. Oh, yes. Mercury. Let's just touch on Mercury real quick. Mercury is now fully returned to going forward, to being forward. So when Mercury goes into retrograde, it doesn't actually go backwards. It just looks that way to us. So we receive the energies. Mercury is our communication. Communication from the gods just means the messenger, right? How is your soul, your spirit, how is the optimal trying to speak to you, to guide you so that you can move from where you are? Maybe it's going to be a painful exit, but if you could be in alignment with that inner truth instead of trying to force a goal or feel desperate grabbing for something and feel empty, you don't tend to turn around and see, and then you don't get fulfilled and you don't receive, and then you don't overflow. And now you're not giving good back to the world. You're living in a toxic flow. This is actually what's happening in your energy field. You don't need to ever be able to see it. Promise you. So Mercury now, it's not a bad thing being in retrograde. It's just different how you receive your information. That's why it's important to understand what's happening right now with the energies. So the moon is waxing. That means it's getting bigger. So that's also the energy of what? Your wishes, your wants. It's your sacred energy of the moon, of the creation of the sacred feminine. You plant a seed and you nurture it, and then it sprouts and it grows. And at the full moon, there's the harvest. That's the energetic. Of course, there's not a lot of things in our life that are going to do that in 30 days. But that's the energetics that we go through. That's part of the up and down cycle. We're a part of it. There's no denying it. So I had an amazing conversation today with an expert that's coming to our Avalon, our Avebury retreat, who we are like long lost soul sisters. I am over the moon talking to this woman. I'm vibrating just out of my body because we're into the energies. She's into the earth energies. She has all this experience with Stonehenge and Avebury and Glastonbury, and she knows the ley lines, and she's invited on the new secret digs for the archaeologists. And this is just like, wow. So to me, that's a new opening that's expanding. My desire to meet people like that, to co-create with people like that, to create experiences where you can come and we're going to nurture and love and nourish and activate you. So you can let go of the victim and let go of all the drama that told you you weren't good enough and keeps you from being in the moment to be fully nurtured by these earth energies, by Gaia. And when you come into that space, is to connect you in all the levels. So you really get it. You're going to feel it. You're going to sense it. She knows where the sacred places are. Nobody else knows. She's discovered things archaeologists haven't, and it's been verified by science. She knows where the long-headed people were, where to chant, where to create the right vibrations in these sacred places. There's these levels of energy that she's already aware of. Like if you came here, that I would be aware of in the pyramids, and then I'm going to bring my energy. Well, what happens when we are right now in Mercury? This is part of what's happening for me. I started to connect with her and find her over the last month, maybe a little longer. And it was just this very kind of casual connection, and then this and that, and finding out more of each other. And suddenly you could see the soul paths just going boom, 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 all these lights lighting up as we were coming together. And these align with what's happening for me and my energy, the place I am in my growth, all the pain and sickness I've had in the last few months. That was part of my shedding, now opening to this new Uranus energy, something new. Let's build something new, dragon energy. And you're having the same thing. So the communication of Mercury is in that let's move forward. All right. So it's going to be a part of that new and that innovative. It's going to be part of the dragon, new, innovative, creative energy. It's going to be part of that expansive energy of Jupiter. All right. So that's really helping. And freedom. I want you to think a lot about freedom. What would make me feel free? Where don't I feel free? Everybody has slave patterns and servant patterns, and they can't exist anymore in the frequencies where we're going. You have to embody yourself as your own authority. It's the number one thing. So the goddess has called me back. I spent 16 years in the goddess realm in the Reformed RCG. It's called the Reformed Congregation of the Goddess. And I was on the ritual planning committee, and it's some of the most loving and beautiful energies, rituals, understandings. It's all earth-based. It's all extremely lovey-dovey, very Mother Earth-based and seasonal-based and cycle-based. And there's a depth to it and a kindness to it that is coming back to the planet. And it's part of that embodiment of the divine feminine reviving. Now we need that sacred masculine also. We need freedom, but we need to be able to think and act and step out of our comfort zone. And that requires the sacred masculine energies. And instead we were taught to either be in the feminine energies that weren't valued or respected and didn't speak up enough, or to be in the masculine energies where we were push, force, try to make it happen. We want to blend these two together. So where's the freedom for you in dialing these two energies, okay, back into the way that you would like? So you're in your comfort zone, but you have to step out of your comfort zone. So there's your paradox for this week. And let's take the next few minutes to dive into meditation with these beautiful energies. I could talk forever about my upcoming retreat. I want to just touch on it here for you. If you go to nanakasha.com, I guess I could put on the screen, right? /Avalon, Avalon, you'll see it. Now we're tweaking the page to make it a little bit more understandable, but essentially the whole retreat is the 7th to the 17th. It's 10 days, and it includes, if you do the whole thing, you can do it including your accommodations, and basically the only thing you have to pay for is most of your dinners. Your breakfasts are covered, your lunches are covered, these experts I'm bringing in are covering. All of the places we're going are covered. We're going in the sacred wells. We're going up here to the tour many times. This is a pyramid that has a druid labyrinth. We're going into labyrinth. We're going into private access to the wells, to these. It's just going to blow your mind. So, and the reason that I've met this beautiful woman who's into the earth energies, and it's expanding for me. It's taking the things I've learned, and it's been a long time since I've been this on fire to consume something new. And I think that's part of the Taurus energy combined with new and expanding that, because it makes me feel like my understanding already that I have through all the training and all the experience and all the teaching and all the personal life is now expanding to a new level. It's like being invited to university or to master's degree. It's being invited to work with a different level of people, and we get to complement each other and we see each other. And we're co-creating, and we want to co-create. And that is my dreams. That's the things I've wanted. And in the past, I found people who I thought wanted to co-create, but really weren't there yet. And that's okay, because I learned those lessons. So now we've got these beautiful energies weaving together. I've got a woman coming in who's a little Celtic goddess lady who is an artist and a Reiki teacher, and she makes wands, and we're going to be going around the countryside here, sourcing it and making earth altars and doing all these beautiful ceremony all day long in sacred places. Why is that important? It's part of the nourishment that we're talking about right now. It nourishes you to get the hell out of where you live, because you unplug from your life, your phone, your duties, your to-dos, your stack of clutter, your whatever, your obligations to your electric bill or to your family, right? To your job. Get away, whether you come here or not. Please find time to get to yourself. 2, you come into a group of sacred people who hold a space together. Everyone's coming at a different place in a different way with different energies, and yet they're coming in and with the common interest. So it's similar to the energies that pour through each of us. They pour through each of us for us to pull what is optimal for us, to live the life we're meant to live, to clear and cleanse our reality so we can start to create the reality that we knew we were meant to. And there's plenty of people living their purpose and mission, even if they're not rich, even if they're not healthy, even if they're not perfect in whatever way you were told you had to be perfect. And the thing is right now is to start to let go of all those things you thought you needed before you could be or have or do what you want. Now is the time to do and be. Then you will have what you want. And it's going to be different than you expected. And it needs to be different. Remember, that's what the energies keep telling us. So next week, we're going to do the full moon. So between now and then, also remember that you are gathering energies together. Oh, I don't think I'm sharing this with you. So how funny is that? All right, hang on a second. There we go. There we go. Now I'm sharing this with you. And I do these retreats because it was the most powerful thing I've ever done, was finding my mystery schools and all these other sacred teachers and energies, and how one led to the next. And I started to understand things at a different level. And then it was when I got to go to the sacred places and feel the energies and do the activations and learn the sacred tools and be with the people. Those things come together in an amplification that literally create a once in a lifetime opportunity that you can't ever recreate. And so if you can't ever recreate something, it's a door that opens. So I'm going to wrap back around to Joseph Campbell, who his famous quote is that follow your bliss. And when you follow your bliss, doors will open where you once thought were walls. And those doors will only open for you. So there are mentors, there's cross points, there's people that you could meet that are woven into your soul blueprint, that are on your path. They're not guaranteed though, because if you're living in fear, if you're playing small, if you're not facing your fears, if you're not walking through your shadows, if you're not feeling your love, if you're not accepting nourishment, if you're not waking up and stop giving to everyone else first so that you can overflow from your own freedom, your own nourishment, and not judge anyone else or yourself, now you're going to be a beacon of light in the world. Now you're going to be able to attract the true things and open those doors and show up in a moment, whether it's a full moon or just a regular day, and suddenly the people are coming. But it doesn't come and jump in your lap, right? So the beauty of this experience is this lady, she's going to come and walk us all through here up the tour and in the Abbey, and she knows all the sacred earth energies. And then I'm going to be weaving in my activations with both of these ladies. And then we're going on the second part to Avebury and all these other stone circles that have sacred sites where the vibrational opportunities will be able to go out at night as well. And so that is pretty phenomenal, because we're going to be staying there and and 2 nights. So we'll be able to go out at night and be in the stone circle at night and connect with the stars. And it's going to be almost the full moon. So I do have to share this before we go into our meditation. I keep itching like something bit me, but I'm inside. What is going on here? Very interesting, the energies that are moving through my body. Sometimes nowadays the light body shifts that I'm having feel like things are crawling on me, and they aren't. And so I'm just like going through these upgrades. I'm sure you are too. So I have to share this with you. I'll be sharing more on the show with Merlin and other shows coming up. And of course, you can set a time to talk to me if you get on my email list. Make sure that you subscribe here as well, because you'll know when I go live if you have the notifications. But if you go to nanakasha.com and you get on the list, we send you out the emails about the upcoming events. It's on sale right now. There's already 4 spots taken. So these are the kind of things you want to be on top of. And you'll know when we're going live and doing our other groovy stuff. We are in a year that's a very rare year. It only happens every 18.6 years. And it's a lunar alignment of the most northernmost horizon. So the moon goes to the farthest north of us, and it only will happen again in 18 years. So this beautiful lady, Maria Wheatley, hi Maria, we were talking this morning about some amazing things we're going to do at this retreat and other things we're cooking up together. And she said, well, we're going to be there 2 days before the full moon. And I'm having her come over for a full day there. And so she's like, I'm out. You tell me where you want to go, what sites near here, why. And she was telling me, I'm going to take you to the exact sacred feminine place that only 3 other people know about, because 18.6 years ago, I was here measuring the energies, and 3 other people happened to show, or 2 people were with her, and 1 other person happened to know that it was a special moment of the moon, the lunar alignment. So a lot of these stone circles are known for their sun alignments, but they actually have very, very strong and powerful moon alignments as well, which hasn't been very well investigated. And so we're going to be there essentially for the full moon energy, with her going into the exact place that when the moon aligns over the stone, she said, you and your people, knowing the people you bring, are going to feel this, and you're going to have a life-changing, transforming, divine feminine experience, because it won't happen again for 18 years. And so to me, that's like, yes, yes, and oh, yes. Okay. So, okay. So let's go ahead and turn off all of these things here, and we'll go ahead and tune in for a little meditation. Let me check on everybody. Yeah, food is one of those really base, earthy distractions, right, Marnie? And so right now with the Taurus energy and with the expansion energy happening, this is a great opportunity to just say, I'm completely changing my relationship, and it can't be forced. So for me, it was an alchemical change. Of course, I wanted to lose weight. Of course, I wanted to feel good. Of course, I understood the impact that the different foods or the different cravings created, and I was always going underneath it to find what was underneath. And so right now with Taurus, that desire for comfort, you may be turning to comfort things, and it's okay. However, be aware, see if you can switch something, see if you can breathe through it, see if you can talk to that part of you, see if you can call in your dragon to help you. So I want to say hi to everybody here. Hello, Spirit Messenger. Who's this? And Josie and Kim, Marnie and Sharon. And I really think that I'm going to have to put something on this itch. I don't know what happened, but we've got some really good energies coming up right here. The big thing is that we want to, let me see if I can get this off here for, I don't know how to do that. So, okay, whatever. We're going to turn that off. There we go. And I don't know how to turn this off. See if we can change that. So, there we go. And so now what we're going to do is tune into the energies we just talked about. So feel free to share anything, any questions. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get myself a little little homeopathic cream, something. I don't know what's going on, but this leg is talking to me. So it's the same leg where the table fell on it. So we're having a lot of communication through the body right now. And I'll be right back, my loves. Let me share. I'm going to go ahead and share one of our beautiful shows. So I'm going to be coming through. So I'm very excited because this lady that I'm talking about, Maria, and I are going to do 2 shows. We're going to do 1 show next week, I believe, and then a few weeks after about some of these energies and some of these exciting things that we're going to be doing here, and how to get an inside understanding of that. I'm going to be sharing the Lady of the Lake, and all these energies here in Avalon are asking to speak. So make sure you see the show from Friday, The Mists of Avalon. There's a beautiful journey into Avalon near the end of it at about an hour. And everything before that, we're talking about these energies and how they're coming forward and why they're important to you, to know that these guides are here, whether they're here in this time or another time, to know that there is no time and that you're a multidimensional being and you're healing and accessing different parts of you and different wisdoms all the time. And now we're coming into what the sword of the truth is, which is Excalibur. The Lady of the Lake is the goddess, the manifestation of the divine feminine that came and created the sword of truth and gave it to Arthur. So the symbology of that, of the King Arthur thing, is that he was given his power. He said, yes, I'll pick up the sword of my truth. I'll be in integrity with my path. It's not an easy path, but I'm going to play the role that I agreed. I'm going to listen to my soul mission. And a lot of heroes knew that their path was not easy, and yet they went and did it. And that's part of what we're here to do. So we're going to see what she has to say. And these are all going to be very beautiful healing transmissions. And like I said earlier, this week on Thursday, I'm going to talk with Merlin, and we're going to come through and see what he has to say about alchemy now, alchemy in this time, alchemy and magic. You know, used to be revered, used to be secret, used to be persecuted. There's a lot of energy around just the word magic that people get very upset about. So, you know, we're waking up to things that were forbidden to us because they were direct access to our own power and our own ability to create. And those controlling powers that manifested in whatever way, whatever culture, whatever religion, whatever school, it doesn't matter. It just is were designed to make them the authority for you. And this is about you becoming the authority for you with the help of these divine energies. So give me 1 second. I will be right back. And you guys can look at Merlin and tune in and see what he would like to share with you. Okay, I got my cream and I'm just getting hooked back up here. So get comfortable wherever you are. And I think I'm going to show you a different image to bring some energies in, relax, and start to think about what we've talked about, that you're in this beautiful earth energies of comfort and beauty, and feel worthy, feel wealthy, feel ready to deserve and to receive. Okay, good. Here we go. Oh, what are you saying that for? Okay. There we go. Let me give you this one here. So let's go ahead and breathe. No. Okay, hang on. Oh, just gotta love. Thank you. Yes, I would love to go there. That would be delightful. So we're going to relax into the moment, and you can acknowledge that the sacred space that I create is called the Infinity Healing Chamber. Some of you have been in my classes and worked with me, and perhaps you would like to come to the Intuition Awakening School this summer. Is called Divination Intuition School Summer Camp, and we're going to learn different forms of divination, which is basically communication. So using oracle cards is a form of divination. And so this is the Mysteries of Avalon page for the retreat. And I thought they were guiding me that there's an image on here. I love this one we created with this beautiful, it's all created by my beloved Chris. This is not a real person. And then we put the energies. So the energies coming from her heart, the spheres of flower of life that we work with are in her hands. And this is what you're going to feel like when you go. And so let's see what's calling us here. This is the Chalice Well, one of the places we're going to have private access. Here's the White Springs. We're going to have private access there. This looks lovely. Let's stay right here. All right. I lost my little wooden. Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. So you can take a moment, because energy, as you learn to receive and perceive it, or at least acknowledge that it exists, right? Acknowledge that your energy that's interacting with all these energies we're talking about. And whether you can see, sense, feel, or understand it or not. And that is one of the keys. Accept, okay? So let's go ahead and start together by looking at this beautiful image. Thank you, beloved Chris. And Donna, who put the flower of life there for us. And I want you to tune into this, okay? So right now you're walking through an energy field and you're on your path. And you have the power within your hands, just like this bowl of jewels of light that is a light. You're holding that. These are new jewels that have come through this recent shedding and awakening. You are entering this sacred space and you are truly honored. We agree and we love that you are here. And we ask that you feel, that you put yourself here into this place. Feel the sacredness of the space. Perhaps it's a different color. Perhaps the trees are different. Perhaps it's just light or energy or a place that's sacred to you. And to yourself, in your heart, declare, I am ready and willing, and I am open and receptive to connect and co-create with the divine energies of my light body blueprint, the sacred flower of life, and this timeline that I am here on, working with the waters of my body and of Gaia, from my blood and my cerebral spinal fluid to all the energies in my emotions. And I call to Gaia and to Taurus to welcome me into the most comforting, beautiful place. So receive these through your eyes, and you may want to start softening your eyes and then feel that it's vibrating off of the screen and it's touching your field and it's coming in. And again, it may look very different to you. Tune into your energies, your senses. What is you, the blueprint of you? What is it doing as it brings this information in? It's going to decode it and create it into a language that is your own. And then close your eyes at any moment you feel really like you're softening into the space. I am that I am, EA Escher, EA. I declare that in this moment, I'm ready and willing to be in my full sensory awareness that is optimal for my highest good at this time. And as the conscious being co-creating my life, I accept this power of creation. And in the vein of accepting the power of creation, I step into this earth energy. I ask for the earth currents, the earth magic, the dragon and ley lines, the energies from the deep wells and streams, the lavas, the crystals, all the oils, the heart of the earth, to speak to me now. The abundance, the resources, the possibilities, all that can come to me and through me, and what I can create with it. I now am ready and willing to accept that, to see that. Declare this within you. Take a deep breath. Hold that breath. Let it expand your heart. Put these words and this intention into that heart center. 3, 2, 1. Blow it out. Like a dolphin, with intention, and sink and relax deeply into your body and deeply into the moment. It is time. You are here. It is time that you remember you are here. It is time for you to let go of running and chasing for being there, or running and chasing from getting away from there, or running or chasing from overwhelm or confusion, from fear or obligation, from desire, from craving. Be still, like the earth. Taurus, 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 let us bathe in your deserving nature, willing to sit, to feel like the queen and the king, to lay comfortable, fully present, fully embodied, sovereign to the fingertips, knowing exactly the worthiness that everything is here. I can wait, that everything is here that I need, and I know it. Gaia comes with a basket. She says, this is a beautiful place to heal and to rest and to feel the comfort of the truth that you are loved, that you are divine, that you are aligned with more energy streams of nourishing, empowering wisdom, of magic and miracles and healing, of understanding and releasing and receiving. I bring you these presents from the bounty of my body. And she lays a basket in front of us. It is glowing with light and energies like the aurora borealis, the northern lights. All these energies coming up. There's flowers and herbs. There's crystals and earth. There's a shell with water. There's spiraled shells and fossils. There's corn and beans and sacred smells waft up. You feel infused with these divine healing energies of Gaia. I now give myself permission to remember my truth, to follow my bliss. I am ready to see and walk through the door that is open for me now. And in my comfort zone, receive it, deserve it, and be worthy of it. Receive now. The movement is here. Simply receive. There's nothing to do. Relax, receive, please, my love, please. You are sacred. You are unique. You are special and you are needed. Relax, receive, enjoy. All that you need is here. Say yes. I give great thanks and receive this energy. And now, from here, you leave this part of you, relaxing, receiving love held in Gaia's arms, the Taurus energy all around you, languishing in comfort, feeling safe, receiving, nourished, and overflowing. Worthy, wealthy, and abundant. Rise now. Jupiter and Uranus are here. They ask you, rise, rise with us. You start to expand. You grow bigger. You see and sense as if a shell is gracefully opening. Elegantly, you feel an unfolding begin within you. Uranus says, will you be birthed again? Will you become the new? This is the new you, not a different you. Will you allow this unfolding, this awakening? Will you innovate anew to see where you have limited yourself and to find new thoughts? You will wisen up and new realms will open to you. New synchronicities will come. New guides, new guardians, new levels of communication. They're all here now. Will you? Jupiter is smiling, spiraling around us, expanding the vortex, expanding and expanding. Yes, I'm willing. Yes, I'm ready. Change, innovation. I shed and unfold. I receive and I nourish and I overflow. And then again and again, like a flower growing up and blooming, and then a growing up again, taller and blooming, and then growing up again, taller and blooming, over and over and over, waxing every day towards the full moon. I'm going to take a step, new, different, embracing this change. I am the change. I am in the flow with the change. I'm in the flow with the divine, the love of Gaia, the earth energies and elementals that are here for my highest good. And I accept. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, as you come back into this moment, just breathe in. Draw yourself down your pillar of light from wherever you feel you've gone. But bring with you these energies, this new awareness. Anchor it all the way down into your hips and your feet. Open your foot chakra. Send the energy into Gaia. And allow your earth star to open and release all that no longer serves you into Gaia and holds the treasures of your wisdom, your truth, your knowledge, ancient and future possibilities and truths. Everything that is optimal is here for you now. Relax. Feel your arms and your shoulders. Move your arms and your hands. Begin to see and sense and feel all around you. Who are you? What is here? I am the goddess, and I am the sacred, and I am the creator, and I am that I am in infinite flow. I accept these new energies. I accept that I have the support to walk through whatever may block me as I step into these new energies and this expansion. And I feel and sense my foundation of comfort, while also being supported and uplifted to change and expand. As above, so below. I am here and now. I am there and then. I am this. I am that. I am the divine goddess of all. I am the creator, the wisdom keeper, the medicine woman, the divine mother. I am the seer. I am the oracle. I am the healer. I am the tender-hearted lover. I am the unconditionally loving receiver of myself, my seed, my soul. And in this moment, I now walk my truth. And divine love, as this circle is open now, I acknowledge that energetically it is unbroken, and that I can return here, and that these energies and I now walk together. And we ask with gratitude and grace and deep love to send on a harmonious wave out to all those life forms that have ever lived on the planet in any time, and to the celestials, and through time, to all levels of being. This beautiful healing opportunity and moment of prosperity, I agree to enjoy and remember that I am divinely worthy, wealthy, supported now in every moment. And I'm ready to acknowledge, honor, respect, and value my senses, my intuition, my divine feminine arts, my sacred masculine strength, my ability to re-merge as one balanced, beautiful being, creating my reality. And so it is, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, my beautiful beloveds. Let's see what we have here. I love this. I'm going to leave you here with this image. So please take your time to come into the body and the moment. If you have time to just lay down and float, to be with these energies, it's the best medicine. This is medicine. This is energy. Medicine isn't like horrible medicine. This isn't, oh, you're sick and whatever. This is the optimal energy for you right now. And that's the beautiful thing. We live in an earth body with earth energies and currents and all of these beautiful beings in an earth body as well. And yet we're a celestial being and we're a spiritual being, and we have access to all these dimensions. And now we get the honor to awaken to our truth, to consciously choose to live the life we want. And the sacred schools, the awakenings of these ancient energies, these wisdoms, these traditions, they're absolutely mind-blowing. Friend of mine I've known for quite a while just got back from working with an ancient tribe in Colombia and was able to go up with his group to the high mountains, and they're the first people that have been taught this wisdom of their people. They were married up there, and it's the first time they've ever performed a marriage to anyone outside their tribe. And it's very profound that these ancient 1333, by the way, indigenous places are sharing their wisdom and beginning to pollinate. This is the return of the rainbow tribe. And that's us. So your magic is alive, and it's alive right now. And it's time for us to all stop waiting. Okay, everyone. Namaste. I will see you on Thursday. Please reach out if you're interested in the retreat, if you would like to chat, if you have any concerns. We're putting together a logistics document about travel questions, and we have ability if you want your own room. There's available. The website has all the information. We're continuing to add more to clarify it with ease. So please feel free to reach out to me. And also, I probably should share that we do have, we've sort of forgotten about it. We have the Intuition Awakening Summer School coming up. And what's happening with that is that every summer I do, it's virtual. I do an Intuition Awakening School. And what do I mean by that? It's a chance to come in from wherever you are and begin to awaken and activate your ability to communicate with your higher self, or your body, or the disease that's talking to you, or to the emotional state, or to the trigger, or to the owl that flew over your head, to understand the signs and symbols of your destiny, to understand the energies that we're talking about, to understand that you have ways of communicating you've probably never experienced. And everyone who goes through this school, they're a little bit different focus every year, but the focus is to give you a sacred space where I activate and attune you and give you a place where you start to open to realms you've never understood. You start to get visions you've never had, whatever particular thing is optimal for you. So people will come who say, I don't see energy, I don't know anything, and they suddenly start streaming amazing things. It's absolutely phenomenal. And the most beautiful thing is it's a loving, safe community within which you see everybody else's struggles, and everybody feels like, oh, I wish I could do that, and I'm not good enough, or whatever. And you have this commonality. So that victim story, or I'm not good enough story, or that fear of being seen or speaking up, or all the things we're healing right now become our collective healing, and they fall away. And we get to be in the sacred space. And I keep helping you bring through and clarify the information you've brought through. Everyone else shares. It's an incredible experience. And it will literally, I have many people, but one lady in particular I'm thinking about who's in my mastermind now. And after 2 years, she visibly, physically, in every sense of the word, looks like a different person compared to this gray, kind of depressed being that came to me first. And she said, I can't believe what I would have done if I hadn't joined. And she did the intuition school and the certification that came after it a couple of years ago. And it was a big stretch financially for her as a single mother. And yet she said, I know it's part of my heart. I know it's part of my soul. I know this is the path I have to do. Every single time somebody has come to me that says that. I know also, and I can see that this is a key door opening when you follow your bliss. And when we listen to the voice of negativity around anything in our lives that says you can't have it, you're not worthy of it, so and so won't like it, you shouldn't spend the money, or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying that those realities don't exist. I'm saying they are what should be making your decisions about what is optimal for you. So you stay in the comfort of loving yourself and being nourished like we are today. And then you expand out of that into realizing that I don't even have to leave my own reality of who I am. And I can astral travel. I can go to other dimensions, other times, other lives. I can access who I was. I can access wisdom schools I've been in. I can access Merlin. I can talk to the Lady of Lake, the Jaguar. Most of you know that I'm a Jaguar medicine woman now. Very honored by that. So this summer we're doing divination in our Intuition in Summer Camp. We're going to have Merlin and the Earth Goddess doing a lot of work with us. It's a big sale going on right now till June 11th. So jump in. We're going to start, I think, a little bit later than June, the end of June, probably early July. So we may be updating these dates real quick. However, I just wanted to give you an idea of some of these. So we do practice classes, we do interactive, we do activations and attunements, and you get the recordings for everything. You're going to want and need to repeat a lot of these processes because they become activations, they become empowerment exercises, they become healing practices, they become daily routines. And we've got Welcome to Divination with Ancient Earth Energies, Sacred Magic Attunements with our Ancient Wisdom and Intuitive Powers with Merlin and Gaia, and the Earth and Water Magic Dragons and Goddesses. So that's going to be our kickoff call. And it may be, like I said, it may be a week later. So I'll be attuning that later, but I stay attuned to the energies. We're going to do divination practice and alchemy with those energies. We're going to do some more activation and alchemy processes. Each time you'll be learning a different process. I'll be teaching it, attuning you to it, and then you'll be practicing it. So you're going to have that opportunity to interact, to receive the feedback, to see what you can do, and to have other people read for you as well, which is really powerful healing. And then on the fourth class, we're going to move into dragon divination process. And this is reconnecting to earth energies that illuminate your intuitive pathways and deepen communication with earth elementals and dragons. So earth elementals are everything from earth, wind, fire, water, of course, crystals, oils, everything we've talked about, the herbs, the essences, the trees, everything that is a part of Gaia. And animals. And then on the last day, we're going to do Celtic divination water magic activation and process with the goddesses Brigid and Epona. And those are Celtic goddesses, typically of the horse and a triple goddess of the still waters and the fire and of spring, and one of the most important ones. And these are the ones, these are very important energies we're going to be working with in person in Avalon, in Glastonbury in October. So if you are coming on the retreat, you have access to this course for 50% off of the sale price, because I highly recommend that you get these attunements and you learn these processes. You don't have to. However, it's wonderful because you're going to start working with those energies before we even get there. And animal spirits, Celtic spice, sacred symbols, like I was showing you earlier, ancient stones, which we're going to be working with on that, and the fairy wisdom. So we are going to have you immediately get the Awaken Your 360 Senses. You're going to get instant access to a workshop called Meet Your Spirit Guide Council, which is, again, really another powerful way of up-leveling who you're working with and starting to connect to certain energies that are there just for you. And then there is Blessings from Gaia, which is a meditation that you'll have instant access to. So as soon as you sign up, even if we're not starting till July, around the beginning of July, you have these things to start going through right now. So just remember that that is there as well. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you, Merlin and I will see you in 2 days. You're so welcome, Sarah. Hi, Lisa. Loving, thanks for these vital sacred gatherings. You're so welcome. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. Ciao, ciao. May this circle be open, yet unbroken, and the peace of the goddess go with us with every step and every breath. I release my connection to the sacred circle. I dismantle these matrices and come back into my own temple of divine truth. Clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing, realigning to my soul signature frequency. Receiving, thank you, all the energies from that experience that are optimal for me come back into my center and releasing all those that are not. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.